Today is a great, wonderful, amazing, incredible day, and I'll tell you why. Because it's a German day. Dating scene in Berlin. Why is it hard to find true love? Without further ado, let's get into this reaction. Let's go.
How would you describe the dating culture here in Berlin?
Confusing and annoying.
It's very different from other countries.
Okay.
Ansonsten würde ich sagen, dass es bei den Deutschen wirklich sehr locker gesehen wird.
It's harder in Berlin.
Very chaotic and
Okay.
I moved here shortly after I broke up a relationship, so I wasn't really looking for anything. It's really easy to meet people, I find, but you also never really know where you are. Not that I really have to know, you know, like after, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 dates, I don't know what the rule is. I really don't care about the rule. But I had cases, I went on a date, it was nice, and then people message you again after 1 month, and then again 1 month, and it's like nice, but...
So what she's saying there is that basically a lot of the men or women or whoever she dates in Berlin, they are non-committal and they might like wait weeks and weeks and weeks to reply again because they're too busy. Sounds like either they're too busy or they've just got too much choice. One of the two tends to be the case in big cities.
I don't know, it's kind of like whatever, you know, like...
It's not very likely that you will meet someone on the street or by coincidence. It's
Right.
mostly based on dating apps. That's, from my experience, that's how you meet someone.
That's not a bad thing though. I met my partner on a dating app. I guess like we have moved away from like the traditional way of like meeting someone in person. Let me know in the comment section if you're with somebody and how you met them. Did you meet them in the traditional sense that you through a friend or bumped into someone on the street, or did you meet them on a dating app? Let me know in the comment section below. Make sure you click the subscribe button. I never ask you guys to subscribe, but I am this time. I'm gonna do it more, and I'd really appreciate it if you want to. But yeah, anyways, let's continue.
Okay.
The only way. Maybe you meet like someone through friends and stuff like that, but it's okay. Well, I'm not seen anybody meet through friends, but most of my friends or even myself, I meet people only on dating apps.
Dass auch Thema Beziehung natürlich sehr ernst sein kann, aber dennoch wirklich oftmals etwas Lockeres ist. Also ich bin in einer Beziehung, auch mit dem Deutschen, und unsere Beziehung ist auf jeden Fall sehr schlicht und einfach. Also bei den Türken würde ich die Beziehung ein bisschen anders einschätzen.
I dated a couple times. The more population, but it's harder in Berlin, definitely.
What makes it harder?
It reminds me of the dating culture in New York. It's almost the same. I also dated in New York.
Yeah, big city, capital city. So the dating culture in Berlin is like the dating culture in New York. So it's probably similar to the dating culture in, say, London. London's a very difficult... I've lived in London before. I don't live in London now. London is also, like Berlin, a very difficult place to date people. Why? Because there's a plethora of options. It sounds bad. There's so many people in that city that people tend to be quite non-committal when it comes to relationships, because it's like, well, if you don't meet 100% of the criteria of the type of person I want to be with, then I'll just find someone else. I was going to date with someone else. You know what I mean? And I think people are never settled in big cities like that because they're looking for that 100% perfect person. They don't exist, by the way. Spoiler. And they just continue to just jump from partner to partner to partner. So dating can be quite casual in big cities. So that's probably what it's like in Berlin, if London is anything to go by, and New York. So yeah, it's got to be hard. Very lonely as well.
People have no time for others. People like a lot of ego nowadays in the big cities. They are so busy with the work, with their life.
I cannot say that it was easy or I was successful in this, and I'm still figuring out and learning how people date here. People have very different understanding of what is like relationship, what's long-term relationship, short-term relationship, and
Seems like people view it as something very loose.
Let's talk about that before she replies. Seems like people see it as something very loose. It's true. In Berlin, I don't know. I've not been to Berlin, but from outside looking in, the world's perception of Berlin is a lot of the darker side of Berlin. You know, the seedy, very sexual. What was it? It's a dark side, but sexually liberated sort of city where you're very maybe a bit promiscuous. And I don't think promiscuous is a bad thing. It's very open with sex and sexuality and stuff like that. And maybe because of that culture within Berlin specifically, not Germany as a whole, but Berlin specifically, it breeds and it fosters a sort of a sort of loose way of dating people, a loose way of kind of a casual sex and moving from partner to partner. And maybe the culture of that is within the fabric of society in Berlin. So maybe that's why it's hard as well. If you're looking for a long-term thing, that's hard. Also, I was going to say, because Berlin, again, going back to it being a big city, it's a transient city, right? So people are in and out of Berlin, constantly leaving, constantly coming back. There are a lot of tourists come into the city as well. So if you're jumping on those dating apps, there might be people that are only in Berlin for a weekend, or only in Berlin for a few months, or a digital nomad that's only in Berlin maximum 3-4 months or something. Do you know what I mean? So you tend to have a lot of men that are non-committal. I just like, well, I'm saying men and women that are non-committal and just be like, well, I'm only traveling, so I'm just looking for a bit of fun, a bit of company for the night. So yeah, loads of different reasons why Berlin is probably really difficult to date and find your person. But like in this world, Berlin, was it millions of people live in Berlin? Like you're gonna find somebody. There's someone for you within. You just got to keep on kissing a lot of frogs until you find your prince or your princess.
It's quite casual, and I like that because I'm also not the type that has to like find the love of their life within, I don't know, 3 Bumble dates. I didn't give up, but I tried the online dating for 2 months. Went on one date, was nice, but it takes so much effort to get to know somebody, and I just find it weird online or digital. Rather meet people in person.
People have already an image of what they want, and it's not like they're not really open.
Let's talk about it.
Sense, like to say, okay, well, maybe I will give a room for improvement or stuff like that, or if something doesn't work, I will just like say, okay, well, maybe.
Let's unpack that, right? People, what did he say? What was he say? Let's go back to what he said. The first sentence he said, there's a lot of people that won't and will give a room for improvement. Yeah, there's a lot of people that are not willing to have a partner that has flaws. It's what I said earlier. People want everything all in one, 100%. They want someone who is this, and they have a long criteria. And if you don't meet that, then they're like, oh, I don't have time to work on that relationship with you. But that's the whole point. That's what makes relationships stronger. You need to have things that clash. You need to work together. You need to compromise some things. Not everything. Majority of the things you should be in unison with, but you work together. It's a team. 2 people coming together and creating something. Like, yeah, and I feel like what he's saying is that nowadays people are not willing to do that anymore. Like back in the day, like our parents and our parents' parents, they were willing to compromise maybe too much, put up with maybe too much, maybe not the right person a lot of the times, but they stuck through that, through all the ups and downs. A lot of it was very destructive, like there was a lot of domestic abuse back in the day that, was just the norm. However, there were parts of that I wish still survive today where, couples are willing to work through things, are willing to stick together. That whole death do part, is that the thing? Yeah. Together forever, we're going to work through all the things and all the problems together. It's missing in today's society, I think. That some of the traditional, I like the modern day, don't put up with any abuse, don't put up with anything less than you deserve. I love that, but at the same time, we also need to keep we are a team, we'll work through anything, we'll get through this together type of mentality. Do you know what I mean? I don't know if it's just me. Let me know in the comment section below, but I just feel like that's missing today. And yeah, I think we've gone too far. Independent, I'm an independent woman, I'm an independent man, or just this person's not perfect for me. I think we've gone too far that way. What do you think? Let me know. I'm interested.
Give a room for improvement or stuff like that, or if something doesn't work, I will just like say, okay, well, maybe we could try it, but I think it's most people are a little bit close in that sense. That's the many options here. It's a problem. It's a good thing, but it's also a bad thing.
Dadurch, dass die Kultur unterschiedlich ist, sehen die türkischen Männer in Anführungsstrichen jetzt die Beziehung wirklich sehr ernst an, im Sinne von, dass man bis zur Ehe wartet, zum Beispiel mit dem Geschlechtsverkehr, oder dass auch, wenn man eine Beziehung mit
Traditional
führt, dass sie wirklich sehr streng sein können, sehr beschützerisch sein können. Meine persönliche Erfahrung ist da wirklich, gefällt mir nicht, dadurch, dass ich die Person bin, die sagt, ich bin ein eigener Mensch und ich kann auch für mich selber sorgen. Ich brauche keinen Mann an meiner Seite, der jetzt ständig mir sagen muss, was ich anziehen soll, was ich machen soll.
There you go. Like that's traditional. Turkish men clearly are still very traditional, like they were back in the day. But she's saying she doesn't like that. So, but then she's saying that she doesn't like how Berlin men can be very, very uncommittal. So we need to find a middle ground between the two, between traditional and modern. There needs to be a middle ground somewhere.
They're dating. It's less sharing. It's less caring. It's like fast food culture, you know. Like you meet a person, you have expectations. When it's not working, okay, next. Because there are lots of choices. People have nice patience, I think, and also the quality. I would say the dating quality is not that great. Quantity maybe a lot.
So you say it's more a lot of dating, a lot of opportunities, quick, but less for meaningful depth in relationships. Okay.
Big city.
There are more people
Big city.
that is like in open relationship maybe, and people who are in the hookup culture, and I would confuse them with each other and have expectations that are not realistic. I think it's a big, also I attribute to big cities that you meet a lot of people at the same time, a lot of options maybe. It's hard to connect with someone really, like emotionally and physically.
There's so many different people here in Berlin, and where I used to live before, I was living in this little village where everyone just studies forests and agriculture. So it brings a certain type of people together, you know, you have like a natural selection of what kind of people you meet or what you can date. And here I find like you have a profile and certain things match to your personal interests or your needs or whatever, but you never know who's going to be in front of you in the end.
She said that basically in the countryside, we call it the countryside, in the villages and smaller areas, rural areas, that people, you kind of know what you're going to get. you kind of know what you're going to get because people are quite similar and have similar culture, have similar ways of living, very regimented in the sense of you go to school, you leave school, you get a job, you go to university, you get a job, you get a house. It's very boring, very boring, but stable, and you know what you're going to get. But then when you go to the big cities and you try and date, you're getting all sorts of people. You're getting people that are traveling and coming there, and you, like I said before, like you get a lot of people that maybe are not ready to settle, and they're very ambitious, and they're not really at a place where they want to build something with someone else. So in a lot of ways, it's probably easier. It's easier to date in rural areas. And she said, you never know who's going to be in front of you. And I think what she means by that is you never know who that person is, who you're going to be meeting. Like on paper, it sounds good, but they're deeply flawed or have deep issues with certain things. And I get it. Like, yeah, it's difficult. I've tried to date in a capital city. It's a minefield. It's a minefield. Let me know in the comment section as well if you're from Berlin. Let me know if you're from Berlin, and let me know your experience, because your experience might be different from all these people here. And I really would like to know what your experience is. I mean, I'm going to be visiting Berlin, and I can take from it what I take from it. But I won't be dating anyone because I'm in a relationship. But So I'm really interested to know how you found Berlin and how you found the dating culture, the hookup culture, the all types. You know, let me know. I'm interested.
So even though I had very nice dates, don't get me wrong, it still feels like afterwards, like, is this really what else is to this person? And I just find it exhausting. So my style is always to just meet people, hang out, be friends, and then eventually maybe it evolves into something more, or it doesn't. So that's just what I'm doing here right now. I stopped the online dating. I'm personally not looking. If I find someone nice, that's cool. And that's really nice in Berlin too. You find and meet a lot of cool people, and then if hopefully some things align, you actually meet that person again. That's the tough part in Berlin. But yeah, it's confusing.
Sounds confusing.
How easy is it to find love here?
Impossible. No, actually, it's very likely that to find the right person, but I think it's because it's a big city, so the bigger the more options people have, and it's just more like people have already an expectation of the other person. So when they go on a date, everything changes, or there's only two ways: either it gets a lot better, or it actually goes worse. And the person gets very excited and they both want to get to know each other, or just like, okay, well, this didn't work and stuff like that. But yeah, that's how mostly works the dating industry in Berlin. I mean, you find
he's been hurt. You can tell when he's speaking about Berlin and the dating culture. You can tell when someone's been through it and it's like, oh, I've dated so many different. I'm gonna assume he's gay. I've dated so many men. He might not be, but I can tell he's like, yeah, it's exhausting. All these people seem like they're single and like they're exhausted with the dating culture there. It can be so tiring. I remember being single and, oh man, it's tiring. It really is. And sometimes you have to take a break. Sometimes you have to uninstall those apps off your phone because it's just like you go on these multiple dates and you think it's good, and then after a couple dates you're like, oh, this person's not the right person, something's gone wrong, whether it's a connection, maybe it's a physical connection, maybe it's an emotional connection, and it's just exhausting really. Sometimes you get ghosted, sometimes someone's too clingy and too on you and you're like, oh, just calm down a little bit. You have to just find the right person, and you've just got to meet people. You just got to meet people with no expectations, because if you go in with expectations, you're going to be disappointed. That's something I learned from being single for a long time. And don't get disheartened, and be happy on your own. You have to be happy on your own. You have to be happy within yourself, and love yourself. And that's when you love yourself. I know this sounds so, do you know what I mean? Sickly. But when you love yourself and you care about yourself and you're confident and you exude that, and your energy just exudes, positivity, you're going to attract those people in your lives. Like, you're going to attract those people. But when you're like desperate and needy and I need someone to complete me, that's when you're going to attract the wrong person. Sometimes you attract people that want to exploit. Let's talk about it. Sometimes you attract those people that want to exploit you and exploit those vulnerabilities. And so there are predators out there that look for people that are vulnerable. I know I'm speaking to somebody who knows what I'm talking about. So it's important to love yourself first and have yourself together so you can attract the type of person you want in your life. Does that make sense? Anyways, that's my Oprah moment. That's my Oprah moment for the few minutes I was talking. Let's continue.
Of course, I've seen people who have a long time relationships and stuff like that, and they met on dating apps. But
Aber die Beziehung mit meinem Freund würde ich auf jeden Fall sehr gesund einschätzen, weil wir wirklich sehr gut miteinander kommunizieren und mich so akzeptiert, wie ich bin, egal wie meine Vergangenheit war. Die Deutschen sind da wirklich ein bisschen lockerer als bei den Türken auf jeden Fall. Deswegen bin ich mit meinem Freund, der Deutsch ist, ein bisschen glücklicher, als wenn ich jetzt einen Türken an anderer Seite hätte.
I always dance.
That's very good. That's very good. She says she's very comfortable with. That's a positive thing about German people. So she feels very open with her German boyfriend. And I've told you the experience I've had with. I've had nothing but positive experiences with German people. I'm actually quite scared to go to Germany because I might experience different types of German people as well. But so far, all the German people I've met have been very open and very interested. Very interested, inquisitive. German people are very inquisitive. They have strong opinions and they want to know about you and they want to learn and they want to form their opinion. But yeah, I've met some lovely German people that when you have a conversation with them, they've just been very engaged and very, very present in the moment. And I don't know if that's all German people, but hey, I'm excited to find out when I actually go to Germany and actually meet Germans. Yeah, I don't know. Are you all like that? Let me know in the comment section below. I'm sure you're not all like that, but maybe you are. Don't know.
Like when there's music, I always dance. So in bars, and that I guess attracts attention, and then people come up and introduce themselves and say, "You dance nice."
Absolutely.
Sometimes you just end up in a conversation. Sometimes I also dance.
There you go. I mean, I'm sorry to pause it again, but what she just said there is she dances in clubs and she dances, and that's how she gets attention. Why? Because she's just carefree and having fun, and that energy, that happiness, it comes out. You shine bright, and people are drawn to you. That's the best way to be. Be carefree and just enjoy yourself and your life. And people want to be a part of that light. They're just drawn to it. It's like moths to a flame. Like, you're just drawn to that person. And yeah, when I think about the times I've met people that in my life that, you know, I've attracted a person into my life was when I was just carefree and happy and just, I had a lot of positivity and I was just giving that out. And that's when I've had the most beautiful people come to me. Does that make sense? Like, yeah, like through this, like YouTube, through this right now, like me connecting with all of you guys, I don't know why energy bills popped up. Me connecting with all of you guys is I've had loads of beautiful people message me. Not here. You guys actually can't contact me yet, but I'm gonna maybe start an Instagram or a way of you guys to reach out to me and communicate with me, because I've got 2 channels and my Swedish guys and all that channel, they're able to contact me. I would like to connect with you guys now that it's been a year. So I'm gonna probably create something. I don't know. People say Discord, but I don't know how to use Discord. So maybe an Instagram or whatever. But I'm sure the people that communicate with me will be absolutely like the most lovely people. And that's what I mean about energy and attracting the right people into your lives. Does that make sense? Sorry, I'm very chatty today. Don't know why I'm saying sorry. That's my Britishness. I always say sorry. You're probably like, Dwayne, why are you always saying sorry? I'm British. We just say sorry for no reason. It makes no sense, but it's just how we are.
The day,
Okay.
so it's not just a night thing. Yeah. Well, also like I do sports or theater. When you start showing up to the same place multiple times, you always meet people, and then you start talking. So yeah, do what you like, and then you find the people you like, and then you see what happens there.
What would you say?
There you go.
It is to find your love?
I lived here for 2 years, and the friends I made here, I went to 3 weddings, so it does happen.
Wow, that's lovely.
But love isn't just wedding, you know. I know many very, very happy couples here who met in Berlin, who fell in love in Berlin, and some who even married in Berlin. They both met in person and also online, so everything's possible.
Absolutely.
But compared to where I used to live before, which was a much smaller place, it is more difficult, because I think one of the nice things which really takes the pressure of dating is when you meet people like spontaneously without planning things, and that doesn't really happen in a city like Berlin. So you actively have to make the effort to meet.
Do you have any tips for when it comes to dating here?
Just be open and not try to be someone else that you're not, just because you like someone. You know, I think it's the best because then you're gonna be like pretending all the time to be someone on the whole relationship that you're not. So I think it's since the beginning, and stick
Good advice.
what you really want. You know, not maybe scare someone at the beginning and say I want to marry and have 5 kids and stuff like that. But just what you want to look like. Okay, maybe you want to travel to certain countries, and maybe the other person wants also that. Be clear and do stuff together, like. Just because you don't like maybe going to the movies or just maybe try at least to do something. I think
he's given really great advice. He's perfect, in my opinion. He said, show up into meeting. When you meet someone, be yourself. Do not try and be someone else. Do not give them the impression that you are something else that you're not, because it's not going to work out. They need to see you for you, see you for who you are. Don't be scared to be who you are, because you're only going to meet the person that's for you if you show up 100% authentic. Do you know what I mean? It gets all the awkwardness out the way. You're already being yourself. You're already being yourself, and it's so important to be yourself when dealing with dating, so that that person can get an authentic picture of you, and they're not surprised that you have like some sort of weird habit or weird fetish or weird fetish. Oh, do you know what I mean? Like you've and also what you said just then about, yes, show up authentically, but also don't be afraid to try something that you've not tried before, or you may not think you like. You know, put yourself out there to experience new things with that person. This is good advice. He's been on a lot of dates. He's learned this.
You need to be open in that sense, not just to do whatever you want, but only also be open to do different things.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot for watching until the end of this video. And let me know in the comments how you experience dating in Berlin.
I agree. Let me know in the comments. That's what I was saying to you earlier on. Let me know how it is dating in Berlin. Are these people, the people that he interviewed, is that, you know, the most of the experience in Berlin? Is that your point of view? Even if you're not from Berlin and you're from somewhere else in Germany, just like me, I've visited London. I've lived in London for a couple of years. Like, even visiting, you get an impression of a city. Let me know if that's how you see Berlin as well. Be nice, because I know some of you hate Berlin, but like, yeah, be nice. But let me know in the comment section below. Make sure you subscribe. I'm going to say that more often, because I know you guys are watching. There's a lot of you watching that are not subscribed, but there's a lot of amazing people that are subscribed. And I want you all to be part of the community. Like, I should ask more, but I'm too polite and too British to be like, please subscribe to my channel. But I'm gonna say it a lot more and prompt you guys to click that subscribe button. So make sure you do that. And guys, thank you very much for watching. Until the next one, I'll see you very soon.